the hospital is really a big deal for many of us because just the fact of the sheer volume of referrals that the hospital can potentially give us. So there's typically about 4 different ways that I want to share with you today on how you can break in. One of them is that you can build a business plan to basically go after the doctors that are caring for patients that are right around that community that serves that hospital. And typically how you can find that list is if you go directly to the hospital's website, they will usually provide a list of doctors that are providing services to patients. And so right from there, you can build your target list. Now, if you get them identified and referred to you directly from the physician's office, and they happen to absolutely love your company, what do you think is going to happen if they ever need services? They end up in the hospital and they say, oh, it's time for home health. They're going to say, you know what? I have this wonderful company and I want Cheryl's home health back. The second thing that you could do besides starting to build it from the outside in is add to your admission packet a form where they can already select your agency, meaning something in the admission packet that says, if at any time I need to have home health services or home care services or hospice services, that I would like it to be done by this provider. This way, if you find out at any time that one of your patients ends up back in the hospital, you can just fax over that form to discharge planning and let them know that the patient has selected you ahead of time to be their provider. Another thing that you can do is obviously follow up with the discharge planners using the High Performance Sales Academy and putting them on a weekly cadence, and use the purpose of the calls directly right from the roadmap to referrals. But the good news is that if you had one of those doctor's patients on your services, they end up in the hospital, you can also go visit the patient and use that as a reason to stop at the front desk and say, hey, could you page the discharge planner to come up and speak to me? I'd like to talk about getting them sent home and getting them back on our services. A third thing that you can do if you're not getting into the hospitals is find somebody else that you know is getting in and buddy up with them. Do some joint sales calls. And typically it could be somebody like a DME company, an IV infusion company, if that's a service that you don't do, a hospice provider, if you don't do hospice, a home health provider, an in-home care provider. It could be a oxygen supplier, a wound care company, somebody that you know, a sales rep that is also calling on that team that they already know, like, and trust. If you could buddy up with them, there's a lot of power in that referral process from a coworker or a colleague. The last way I want to talk to you about is going directly to the home health agency's intake department that is working directly with the hospital. And typically I would just go in and I would do basically a qualifying sales call and intake and say, hey, share with me. Is there a payer that you don't accept? Do you have difficulty getting any of the disciplined staff in any of the areas that you service? Maybe potentially they have an insurance that they're not really trying to accept and you could accept it. So building a relationship, remember the hospital has more patients that they need to get on services than they could ever potentially care for. So good luck, go get it done.